Morning. I roll over, hearing the sounds of Patley's pan rattling as an alarm through my closed door. The sheets that were once white but are now closer to grey scratch my skin as I sit up from a thin hay mattress. I roll my head from side to side, desperately trying to stretch out the ache from my rock-hard pillow. I poke my head out the door, giving my most sarcastic smile I can. Morning to you too, Patley. The large man's face turns red in anger as he turns back to my smiling face. He has a small tuft of straw hair that looks almost as if it's been stuck on by glue, making a lovely contrast between his red face. It wouldn't be too far from a cartoon man, with smoke coming out of his ears, with how red his face is. I pinch my lips together and duck back behind my door into my dimly lit room, consisting of tons. By tons, I mean a dilapidated bed, a lopsided wardrobe, wash basin that hasn't worked in over a century, and a small chamber pot with a large crack in it in the far corner of the room. The rough floorboards that I made the mistake of stepping on with my bare feet at my first night here are all that make up the floor, with the same wood on the walls, each basically the same as a splinter dispenser. I tug on my work t-shirt, a loose-fitting top with a lace-up V neckline. It used to be white, but earned an odd slight shade of grey and yellow years ago. I pull up my brown trousers that I've had since I first turned up here 8 years ago. Evidently, I have grown since then by a lot. The hems of the legs stop just below my knees, and the only way I can keep them is with the help from Andy. They're great with clothes, and could probably make all 30 of us our own sets of clothes 3 times over in a day. That is, if they actually gave us the materials to do that. Hawkley, Patley barks from outside my door. Hurry up or you get pit duties. All right, I mutter, rolling my eyes. I step outside into the corridor, pulling my boots hopping around as I struggle to get the last one on. There! I run to where everyone is lined up as I stick my hands in my pockets and sway back and forth whistling whilst getting in line next to Andy. We all had to line up in age order every morning for roll call. Me and Andy are both 16, and are pretty in the middle of the line. The eldest person working in the shop must be in his late 40s, but we will probably never know, because we simply have no reason to strike up conversation. The youngest was a little half-orc named Maddie, who told us she was 7. The little biter had only been working here for a couple months. Maddie had a speech impediment, so to save himself the trouble, Patley got me and Andy to watch over her for the first few weeks, meaning only the pair of us know what she's saying, so we translate. It's a pity, really. She says some things that some of them really need to hear, just to knock them off their high horses a little bit. Like how yesterday she said that a rude customer needed to take the stick out of their butt and use it to walk out of there after they shouted at me because we didn't have any healing potions for his back. Or how she constantly refers to Patley as Angry Piggy. He doesn't need to know that. When she first started calling him that, Andy and I couldn't help but laugh as everyone stood around in confusion at why we were incapacitated laughter. We were able to hide it before Patley got suspicious, though. We didn't want the sweet thing to get punished with pit duty. Patley walks straight up to me as I stand still, swaying back and forth, smiling lamely. Hawkley, he snaps at me. Yes, sir? I ask. I decide to play dumb, not only because I have no way of defending myself, but because it annoys Patley. Do you realise you are late? Late, sir? I make a look of shock on my face. I would never. Andy raises their eyebrows slightly and looks at me with the face of, Are you sure you want to do this right now? I look at them quickly before turning back to Patley. His face has turned back into the tomato soup colour it was 10 minutes ago. He leans in closer to me, hissing as he speaks. If you are late one more time, Hawkley, you're out to the streets. Got it? Yup, got it. I understand you entirely. I put a fake serious face on and salute to him. He walks off angrily. Are you ever going to not risk your neck, Mike? Andy shoves me lightly. He already despises you. What? I joke. It's fun. The line of the 30 of us file down the rough stone staircase to the storerooms beneath the shop. Andy and I take our usual places by the high magic section. We're the only ones trusted enough to go there and not break anything whilst we're there. Well, at least, out of the younger ones. Everyone who has lived through 20 winters goes upstairs and works on things like stock and profits, leaving 24 of us to do the rest. Patley walks down the stairs and shouts at us all his instructions. If I call your name, you're doing floor work. Everyone else, assume your normal positions. He barks out 6 names, all of them 12 to 15 years old. No one we know personally. Turning to the artefacts behind us, I let out a sigh. Are you meeting up with those guys again tonight? Andy walks up behind me and puts their hand on my shoulder. I'm just saying, it's going to be harder to cover for you tonight. And I don't trust them. I roll my eyes. I can handle myself. I've been figuring out more spells as well, meaning I'm even more powerful than before. I smirk proudly, earning me an elbow in the stomach from Andy. Wincing in pain, I continue. Besides, this is the last time I'm meeting them. They look at me, realization spreading across their face. You mean? I turn to them excitedly, smiling. We're getting out of here. Me, you, and Maddie, tonight. Andy looks at me, their mouth wide open. Does Maddie know yet? Not yet, I shake my head. I want to surprise her with it. Andy smiles. God, she'll be so happy. I know. Feeling actually happy about something for the first time in years, I hug them, smiling from ear to ear. I know. Michael? Yeah? Andy detaches themselves from the hug. She would be proud of you. Thanks. I look down, the dream from last night still fresh in my mind. Come on, you. I won't be able to sneak out tonight if we've both got pit duty.